Welcome to Big Pat Sports Talk Reacts. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the first episode of Big Sports Talk Reacts. And we gonna be talking about a couple of subjects, man. One of the first subjects we're gonna talk about is, could the Jets draft Ty Simpson at number 2? There are reports that the Jets are very high on Ty Simpson, so we're gonna be reacting to what some of the people say on NFL live crew and ESPN crew, and we're gonna react. So you know how we do, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. This is Ty Simpson might be able to go to the Jets at number 2. This is crazy, but let's go.
4 weeks from right now on this show, we'll be dissecting an NFL draft first round in the rear view. But for now, it's projection. And the most intrigue, perhaps, surrounds the near consensus QB2. Alabama's Ty Simpson has a pretty wide window where he'll go in round 1. Just 15 college starts to his name. He threw at Bama's Pro Day Wednesday, then held a private workout for the Jets today in Tuscaloosa. The Jets hold 2 first-round picks, numbers 2 and 16 overall. New York also signed Geno Smith to a 1-year deal earlier this offseason. Mina Kimes, it is not debatable. The Jets need a long-term plan at quarterback. What is up for debate is when they attack it. There's a lot of buzz with the 2027 class. Should New York be in the QB market this year in this draft?
I do not think so. So the Jets have a tremendous amount
I actually agree.
of ammunition in the draft, right? 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a real opportunity with that ammunition to turn around a roster that still needs a lot of work. I think most folks, myself included, expect them to take a pass rusher with that second pick, but you also need help in the secondary, both corner, safety. You need more wide receivers. You need guards, and dropping a quarterback into that situation, well, to me, it would only make sense if you really loved and believed in the quarterback. And while I do think Ty Simpson has potential, I also think for him to succeed in the NFL, he would have to be an outlier given his stature and also the lack of experience, and particularly those 2 things combined. So I would say he is not the type of quarterback to merit, I think, making that leap, even though the rest of the roster needs work. And if I'm the Jets, I'm focused on improving the roster this year so that next year they can take a quarterback.
I totally agree, Miss Richie Samini. I believe that's her name. If not, my bad, Miss Samini. But look, I actually agree with her sentiment there with the New York Jets. You do not draft Ty Simpson in this draft, especially in the first round. Now, if he falls to the second round, you can take a chance on him. But I'm going with Geno Smith. Let him run this team. Aaron Glenn, you don't want to attach yourself to Ty Simpson if you do not believe in this guy, man. I've said this previously on a previous podcast on here on the Aboriginal Sports Network. You don't put your eggs in that basket if you are not sure about that quarterback at number 2 or number 16. See, me personally, if I'm the New York Jets, I'm going with Avril Reese at 2, and if somehow Makai Lemon is there at 16, I'm taking Reese and Makai Lemon in the first round, man. Those 2 guys can absolutely help this team and help this team, grow, because they're in full rebuild mode. They traded all their defensive players. They lost both the Williams brothers, and Quincy and Quentin Williams. They lost Sauce Gardner. They lost the DB to Detroit the year prior. They just traded away Jermaine Johnson. They did bring over some people on the defense, but this team is going to have to be led by this defense, and they're going to have to let Aaron Glenn build his squad, man. So I am not taking Ty Simpson at 2 or 16 if I'm the New York Jets, because I believe it would just be irresponsible. You don't have the pieces around to build with a quarterback that high in the draft, because if you're drafting him that high, you're wanting this guy to, start, because most quarterbacks in the league now, they're starting from the very beginning. So it's not conducive for the Jets to go in all in on Ty Simpson, man. I totally agree with Miss Samini, man. The Jets need to draft and build out their roster with the bevy of picks that they have this year, and maybe go and get a quarterback next year when a quarterback class is supposedly be better. I think Lenore Sellers, you got the kid from Ole Miss. You got a couple of guys coming out next year. So that's what I'm at, where I'm at with the Jets drafting a quarterback early in the draft. I wouldn't do it, and you shouldn't do it, man, because I think it'll be a disaster if you throw that kid in there with this roster this year. You let Geno Smith play out a year and hold it down, and then the next year, after you've built out your roster and another free agency, you get that kid in the first round next year. I think you have 2 first-round picks next year as well, and then you get more things to build out that roster for that quarterback. Then let the transition run smoothly, man. So that's what I think about that. So next subject, we are going to be talking about, is there a clear-cut number 1 edge rusher in this year's NFL draft? You have Aver Reese, David Bailey. You have a couple of guys, Falk from Auburn. You have a couple of guys out there that people talk about. But is there a clear-cut number 1 edge rusher in this class? Let's hear what they got to say, man. Let's go.
You know, the best way to stop a quarterback is just to keep him from throwing the ball.
That's very true.
Field the Eights has been busy ranking his top 5 edge rushers in this year's class. Arvell Reese, Reuben Bain, David Bailey, top 3 on his board, all held pro days this week, and all 3 have spoken at length about why they think they're ready for the next level. So much debate.
So based on what you see on this graphic here, Mr. David Bailey, Avril Reese, Reuben Bain Jr., Mesidor from Miami, he's actually really good. And Keldrick Falk from Auburn. Out of those 5 guys, they're saying that these guys are the top 5 edge rushers in the class, man. I would like to know, and what you guys' opinion, you put that in the chat, who's the top edge rusher in this class, man? Because me personally, I think the most talented is Avril Reese, who could be the most explosive. But then you got David Bailey, who I do believe is the most NFL ready. You got Reuben Bain Jr., production at Miami, playing with that Miami defense. But was it a conglomerate, or was Reuben Bain Jr. that good? Mesidor, I think Reuben Bain was the guy at Miami. So does that eliminate Mesidor and Keldrick Falk? Not a lot of hype behind Keldrick Falk, but he did have very productive seasons over there with Auburn. So who do you guys think is the top edge rusher in this upcoming NFL draft, man? Y'all let me know.
For the next level. So much debate about these edge rushers. Mina, when you look at this group, how much does one guy stand out over the rest?
One doesn't. This is not like last year where I thought it was very clear Abdul Carter was the best pass rusher. I think if you're a team...
Hey, shout out to the New York Giants.
Looking to draft one of these guys, if you're the Jets, you're going to have your choice of them. Self-scouting is almost as important as scouting the players, because they all bring such different attributes, and you have to ask yourself, what do we need? What is our timeline? What are we looking for? David Bailey, I believe, it gives you the most immediate pass rush juice. That's reflected in his productivity in college. Less advanced as a run defender, less skillful. Reuben Bain Jr., I think, gives you the highest floor, where he is a very complete player. He is proven. And then Arvell Reese is the wild card, because he might have the highest ceiling of them all in terms of his athletic tools. But as we know, he played more so off the ball. His pass rush production was limited. His pass rush usage was limited in college. So if you're the Jets and you're drafting him, or any other team, you have to have a plan to use him in a hybrid role as he develops his pass rush tools. So I think for those teams who are looking at these pass rushers, it is very important that they ask, what is our plan? What do we need from them? And then you can pick, okay, which of these players' traits do we want the most for our team?
Yeah, I think she's correct in that aspect, man. Like in the Jets case, I would go with Avril Reese, because he gives me the most versatile player, to where I could play him at middle linebacker if I have to, and I can play him at the edge if I have to. He has the most versatility, and I think the Jets need more versatile players in their defense, because they need so many tight players on their team, and they have a defensive head coach. So why wouldn't you give him a player that's super versatile, to where he could play multiple positions? The purest pass rusher, the purest edge rusher in this draft class, though, it's got to be David Bailey. David Bailey from Texas Tech, man. He reminds me of that guy out there with the Houston Texans, man, a little bit, man. But he does have some things that he has to work on, like in the run game a little bit. And I think Ruben Bain Jr. is the most overall, the most wide range guy. He can play the run and he can give you a little bit of pass rush. So I don't think it's a hard choice for the first edge rusher that comes off the board in 2026. I do believe it's going to be Avril Reese with the Jets at 2, because I don't believe they believe in the quarterback, and they're not going to take a receiver, and they're not going to take a running back. They got Breece Hall and my guy from Wisconsin that went over there, Braylon Allen. So I do believe that Avril Reese will be the number 2 pick to the New York Jets and be the first edge rusher off the board. That's just I could pretty much guarantee it's going to be one Fernando Mendoza. Everybody knows he's going to the Raiders, and I think Avril Reese is number 2, man. I think those top 2 picks are pretty much a lock, man, because Avril Reese gives you the most versatility, and that's what the Jets need. They need a hybrid player to come in and dominate for them on the defensive side of the ball, man. So clear cut number 1 edge rusher in the draft. It's hard to say, man, because all of them have different things that they do, and all of them have different ways that they can go as far as being on a team. So it just depends on what you want as a team. I think Avril Reese just fits the Jets a whole lot better than what David Bailey or Ruben Bain Jr. would do. So gonna go ahead and head to the next topic, man. Let's get it. So, last topic of today's episode of Big Pat Sports Talk Reacts, man, we're going to be talking about the A.J. Brown trade rumors that are heating up. Hey, Eagles, please trade this man out of Philadelphia so you could give my New York Giants a break. I am tired of A.J. Brown killing us every year, and I think he is the main focus of that offense besides Saquon Barkley, and it takes away Jalen Hurts' outlet on those just throw the ball up deep passes, man. Him and Smith, man, those dudes, they have been carrying that Eagles offense for the past 3 years, man. But let's talk. Let's hear what they got to say.
Hey, the Eagles have enough going on with the A.J. Brown trade talk, which hasn't necessarily quieted down. There just hadn't been a whole lot of action. We're going to get to that in just a little bit. Here's what else they've been up to. Philly added Riq Woolen off his...
Now, they added Riq Woolen. They added Hollywood Brown. They added Jalen Phillips. Man, they have added a lot of people to this team. Not Jalen. They lost Jalen Phillips and Reed Blankenship. They re-signed Dallas Goedert and Marcus Epps. And let's see what that new offensive coordinator and a new O-line coach can do. Didn't like that Riq Woolen went to the Eagles, man, but it is what it is.
Super Bowl win. Also added depth to their wideout room with Hollywood Brown. Maybe a little indicator there. I don't know.
Not caring.
Another year, though, Hollywood and Brown another offensive coordinator, Sean Mannion, 5th in 6 seasons under Nick Sirianni. Some of it's been that those guys have moved on to bigger and better things as in head coaches, but still. Adam, what are the Eagles' recent moves, though? Tell us about a potential A.J. Brown trade.
Well, not a lot, Laura. Look, they signed Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore and A.J. Brown are close friends from college.
Hey, breaking news. They signed Elijah Moore. I forgot about that.
So you could interpret that as the fact that maybe they want to make A.J. Brown happy and keep him there by signing Elijah Moore. Some people say, oh, they signed Elijah Moore and Hollywood Brown. Maybe those are potential replacements as it pertains to A.J. Brown.
Please let those be the replacements for the Eagles. Hollywood Brown and Elijah Moore cannot do anything that A.J. Brown has done for this Philadelphia Eagles team, man. Please let this man go, Eagles, please.
And the fact of the matter is we're in late March, and it doesn't look like anything's going to happen with A.J. Brown for a little while, if it even happens at all. The Eagles have listened to teams, but they have been steadfast in saying all along that they were not looking to trade him and would only trade him unless they got an offer they couldn't refuse. That has not transpired so far. Plus, the thing to remember is that it would be easier to trade A.J. Brown after June 1st due to the salary cap acceleration. So if they were going to trade him, that would be the time to do it. The question is, New England's been the one team that's out there that people have linked up and connected to A.J. Brown. Is New England going to bring back Steph Diggs? Is New England going to use a high pick on a wide receiver? Is New England going to find another receiver between now and June 1st? We don't know how that's going to work out yet. So it's too early to say that he's going to wind up in New England. If he were to be traded, that would be the most likely destination, but there's nothing agreed to. There's nothing in place, and there's still a lot of time between now and June 1st for events to transpire.
Interesting.
So, according to Adam Schefter, man, there's not a lot of movement on the AJ Brown trade rumors. According to Adam Schefter, they're gonna wait to trade him after June 1st, which would be the smartest thing to do because of the cap implications that they have with AJ Brown. But I will say this. If they do decide to trade AJ Brown, I do believe he will either be going to the Patriots, like Adam Schefter said, and I'm gonna give you a sleeper team, man. The Ravens. With the Ravens getting back that trade capital that they got back from the Max Crosby trade, they've shown that they're willing to make a huge trade to get a player that they believe can take them over the top with Lamar Jackson over there. So why not trade for AJ Brown and give up less than what you were going to give up for Max Crosby? That makes total sense, and I do believe the Ravens are going to be players in the AJ Brown sweepstakes, man. Look for those guys to, make a good push for AJ Brown, man. I can really see that. When they reneged on that trade for Max Crosby, because for whatever reason they said he had a degenerative knee issue, whatever. I think they signed Trey Hendrickson and say, hey, look, we can get Trey Hendrickson, and we think he can come in and do close to what Max Crosby could have done for us. And now that they got those picks back, and I don't think they have been, disciplined for the renege on the trade. So they get to keep those first round picks. Why not give up one first round pick and go get AJ Brown from the Eagles and give Lamar Jackson that target of where he could throw the ball up and go get it and get touchdowns for it, because he did very well throwing it to D-Hop. And no disrespect to D-Hop, who's a Hall of Famer. He's older now, and AJ Brown will come in and play that role tremendously and play a bigger role in the pass game. And now that allows Zay Flowers to even work even more in the middle of the field and get those short passes, and then open up the field even more for Zay Flowers. It could be like a AJ Brown Smith situation over there with the Eagles that they have over there right now. So look for the Ravens to be a major player when it comes to getting AJ Brown when the trade, if it does happen. I think it needs to happen. Not just because I'm a Giants fan. I think that dude really wants to get out of there. And I think he's tired of, saving Jalen Hurts behind. And Jalen Hurts, you're going to have a heck of a time, man, if they do trade A.J. Brown. But it's either going to be the Patriots, which I know that he has connections with the Patriots. He likes the Patriots. But I don't think he would refuse a trade to the Baltimore Ravens if the Ravens jumped in, if the Patriots are out. So that's my prediction on the whole AJ Brown trade rumors thing. He will be traded after June 1st because of the cap implications. And I think, to be honest with you, that dude, if he's not a Patriot, he will be a Raven going into the future. So this has been Big Pat Sports Talk Reacts, man. I'd like to thank y'all for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that big blue join button, and join the Big Blue crew right here on Big Pat Sports Talk. This is something different. This is something for all the fans, not just the Giants fans that tune into the channel, but this is for all the fans. You can check this out on the Aboriginal Sports Network as well. If you're watching it here on Big Pat Sports Talk, I'll post episodes here, and episodes will be posted on the Aboriginal Sports Network. It will be different content for different platforms. But I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and until the next Big Pat Sports Talk Reacts latest NFL news and rumors, y'all know what it is, man. Peace. Welcome to Big Pat Sports Talk Reacts.